Your bones betrayed. They shall soon serve me.
What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. In today's video, I just want to talk about the world bosses, and I'm going to focus on the world bosses that are in World Tier 4. I think that the disparity between World Tier 3 and World Tier 4 is vast, simply because the lower tier players that are going up against the world boss in World Tier 3 aren't going to be able to slay the world boss in the speed that you're able to slay it in World Tier 4. When you get in World Tier 4, you're with a lot of players that have a lot better equipment, they're much more optimized, and so the world bosses go down in seconds. Now, world bosses are something that happen very rarely. You're waiting upwards of 6 hours to see a world boss, and sometimes if you're not paying attention to a website like helltides.com that's telling you when those world bosses are spawning, you may miss it entirely. But then you get there, you're waiting for the world boss to spawn, it spawns in, and in a couple of seconds, you are seeing that that world boss is gone, it's been annihilated, and a lot of the times, the loot that you're getting out of this particular instance isn't all that good. So it's kind of like, why come up here for the 30 seconds or less to fight this world boss? And as you watch the video, you're going to see these times decrease. The first one that you watched was 11 seconds, and the last one that I'm going to put on this video is half that. So this happens so fast as you get to these higher tiers, and the loot is not worth it. I feel like that makes a big reason not to even come out. There's almost no reason to go and wait for the world boss and then fight the world boss when it's really not a challenge, and the loot that you're getting really isn't worth even going up there to see what it is. I want to bring your attention to the 15-minute timer that's on the screen. That's what Blizzard is saying they think it should take in order to beat this. That means that if you don't beat it in 15 minutes, you don't get any of the rewards. And I think once you hit World Tier 4 and you see some level 100s there, or even level 90s standing there ready to fight it, you can expect this fight to go very, very quickly. So I think there's a couple of things that need to happen with these world bosses. One, honestly, I'd like to see them more often, but I'd like to see them buffed. I'd like to see them be more difficult in World Tier 4, somewhere closer to what the fight is like in World Tier 3, where you actually have to go through some of the mechanics because they are sponging so much more damage. A lot of the times when I go up to fight these world bosses, I'm not even seeing the first attack. That attack doesn't even happen because all they had time to do was spawn in. Other times they might get off an attack or two and then get totally melted. But the issue that I see is that this is expected to take 15 minutes, and if it's taking under a minute, that means that it is wildly imbalanced for the amount of damage that these players are doing and putting out in World Tier 4 at level 100, whatever. So I would honestly like to see a buff come to all of the world bosses in World Tier 4. But I'd also like to see that coupled with better loot. I don't feel like I should go and fight a world boss just to walk away with blue ancestrals or sacreds. I don't feel like sacreds should even be dropping from the world boss in World Tier 4, and I feel like they are because the fight is so easy. Recently, I've been working on my build to fight Uber Lilith and to actually defeat her, and I've done that a couple of times now, and I'll upload videos of those fights here soon. But it took a lot of practice and it took a lot of time to figure out how to do it effectively. And I feel like after having that experience, after going after Uber Lilith, I think they need to put some more mechanics into these boss encounters. These are supposed to be world bosses. It's a big event that we have to wait a long time to engage with, and then the fight is over just too darn quick, and the loot loot is not really worth going up there and waiting for the timer to count down. In this instance, I actually waited longer for the boss to spawn once the timer was gone than it took for us to kill this particular boss. Now, I don't know what the world record is for killing one of these bosses, but this one only takes 5.3 seconds. That's 5.3 seconds for a world boss that only happens a couple of times a day, and it doesn't notify you. So you really have to be paying attention to your map or using a website to figure out if that is happening anytime soon. I feel like this mechanic needs to be looked at, needs to be changed, and we need to see better loot from it. I want to know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Are you experiencing these very fast boss fights when you go up there, or are you seeing more of a struggle with the folks that you are playing with against that world boss? I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button that says join on this page. Click that for details. There's 2 videos on the screen. Click one of those to watch next, and I'll meet you over there.